Let me first welcome all of you to this very important national event, the official launch of the post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Productivity Enhancement Project. My name is Dr. Kofi Asamoah. I'm a technical advisor at the Social Investment Fund, which is the implementing agency for this project. I think they are bringing the troops in. This is the day that the Lord has made. I think let's as we. I like the ambience and the coziness of this room because it gives a feeling of a family gathering. But really, it is a family gathering. A family that has come together to discuss a project that is dear to our hearts. I see a lot of dignitaries here, men and women of status and stature. At the appropriate time, I will introduce all of them so that we know those who are with us here. But the most important dignitary that I have to introduce is in the person of the Holy Spirit. Because in Him we live and move, and in Him we have our being. So I'll now call on Professor Kwame Segu to invite the Holy Spirit by way of a short prayer.
We bow down our heads. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity to discuss issues to make the livelihoods of people better, especially after the COVID pandemic or post-COVID pandemic. We ask that you would guide us and that your presence would be with us. Make this some function a success, and above all, make the project a big success to achieve the goals that has been set. We thank you so much. We pray for those who are on their way that you guide them and bring them safely here as well. Thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Prof. Before I start the ball rolling, I want to, like I said, identify some key government representatives here. We have the Honorable Ignatius Bafoya, who is the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations. I'll give them a round of applause. Honorable, you can join at the high table. Please, respectfully, when I mention your name, you join me at the high table. We have Madam Erusolam Fasika. He's the country manager of the African Development Bank. Country manager, how is this rep? We have Professor Nana Aba Apia for the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, or his rep, Professor Owusu. Mr. Emmanuel Fojo, representing the Ministry of Finance and head of the African Development Bank desk at the Ministry of Finance. Director, who doubles as the project coordinator of the SIF, Mr. Kofi Frimpong. Permit me also to identify some representatives and key personalities who have joined us. We have Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar, the Deputy Minister of Information, or a rep. And your name, Ms. Patricia Sampson. We have Dr. Kojo Mensah Brampa, the Director General of the National Development Planning Commission, or his rep. We have Hajia Abibata Shani Mahama Zakaria, the CEO of Maslog, and his two deputies. We have the MD of the ARB First Bank, Mr. Ewa, and his team. Later on, as I go along, I'll identify some more big dignitaries. We are all dignitaries in our own right. And then we have Professor Alfred Yosin, who's the Dean of the Medical School. Thank you very much. Yeah. And then I forgot the tax manager. The one who makes sure he coordinates all these activities and makes sure this project will run on schedule and budget. Sorry, otherwise we would have had no objection for most of our procurement. I was thinking you were going to. We also have the Ministry of Trade rep. But like I said, as I go along, I will introduce more details. We all know why we are here. It's a simple task to officially launch the post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Productivity Enhancement Project. We all know what happened to the global economy as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. This was a pandemic like no other. Indeed, the whole world was shut down. No economic activity. And Ghana was no exception. People lost their lives. Not only did they lose their lives, they also lost their livelihood. And in fact, in Ghana, we had a lockdown. We had to go on a 2-week lockdown. It was really, really scary. But we were even mandated to follow certain protocols. If you guys remember, washing your hands, sanitizers used. Everywhere you go, you have to cover your face with a face mask. And I can see some of the professors especially have face masks on. And that is one of the protocols that really helped a lot of people. For me, I liked it because when you wear your face mask, those of us who old people, you walk by your creditors and they don't even recognize you. So it was good for me. We even had a series on the TV where Your Excellency will come and update us on the status of the COVID-19 with his fellow Ghanaians' speech. So it was a scary moment, but by the grace of God, we as a people will sail through it. And Ebenezer, this is how God has brought us. And God also brought us the African Development Bank to fund this project. It has been a long journey with its ups and downs. But in spite of the tight global financial conditions, they were able to fund this very important project. So we want to hear from them. So at this juncture, I'll call on the country manager, Madam Jerusalem Fasika, or his representative, to give us a welcome address.
Good morning. Honorable Minister for Employment and Labor Relations and special guest of honor, Honorable Ignatius Bafo Ahua. I hope that the pronunciation is Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Madame Fatimatu. Deputy Minister of Local Government, Honorable Martin Ajay Mensa. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Prof. Nana Abba. The Director General, National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Kojo. Head of AfDB desk from the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Emmanuel Fojo, Executive Director of the Social Investment Fund and Project Coordinator, Honorable Kofi Fripang, Head of various agencies and official present, civil society, NGOs representatives, member of press, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, and on behalf of the country manager, it is my pleasure to make some few remarks on the occasion of the launch of the post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Productivity Enhancement Project. The The bank and government have worked closely in developing the project. I will therefore like to take this opportunity to congratulate the government of Ghana, particularly the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations, Honorable Minister, for the collaborative effort that has resulted into this important occasion we have today. I would also like to thank my bank colleagues and our project implementation unit for organizing and putting this launch program together. The post-COVID-19 project, the post-COVID-19 skill development and productivity enhancement project, is expected to enable the government of Ghana to invest in infrastructure for skills development and job creation. Ghana to teach and conduct health-related research in other health training, increase number of women and youth enrolled in TVET facilities under SIF, reduce delays in processing of small loans to MSMEs through MASLOC's digitized loan processing system, and the project will also increase access to affordable credit for women and youth and MSME. The project, among many other initiatives, will contribute to the generation and the transfer of knowledge and skills in enterprise development, health research, infrastructure development, digitalization and financial inclusion, development communication, and job creation for youth and women. The project will be implemented by the Ghana Ministry of Finance through the coordination of the Social Investment Fund with other key implementing institutions over the 5 years from 2022 to 2027. Honorable Minister, the African Development Bank has been a reliable development partner to Ghana with its first operation dating back in 1973. Since then, the bank has approved about $4 billion US to finance about 148 projects spread across different economic sectors in the country, including in energy, transport, water and sanitation, agriculture and food security, private sector, and finance. The bank's current portfolio in Ghana comprises 18 operations with about 700 million US. About 44% of the operations are in transport sector, while 15% account for agriculture sector. Interventions in energy, water and sanitation, financial and economic governance, including the social sector, which is 4%, account for remaining 41%. Honorable Minister, in 2022, the African Development Bank approved about 82 million US in grants from the African Development Fund for 3 projects, including the one we are launching today. The Savannah Agricultural Value Chain Development Project and the Ghana Mini-Grid and Net Metering Project. The Ghana Mini-Grid and Net Metering Project is a good example of the leveraging capacity of the African Development Bank. The African Development Fund grant contribution of 27 million US to this project and unlocked co-financing from Climate Investment Fund amounting 28 million US and 13 million US from the Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs. Honorable Minister, at the end of 2022, the African Development Fund mobilized the largest ever replenishment in its 50-year history. Development partners have agreed to commit a total package of 1.9 billion US to fund 2023 to 2025 financing cycle. 429 million of that package will go toward the newly created climate action window. The bank will continue using the African Development Bank resources envelope to leverage the regional window and co-financing from other development partners to finance transformative and impactful programs. This launch ceremony marks an important milestone in the government effort in implementing Ghana Cares program and other key flagship initiatives that are focused on economic transformation through value addition to create employment and enhance social inclusion. In conclusion, I would like to once again reaffirm the commitment and the availability of the African Development Bank Group in supporting the effort of the government and people of the Republic of Ghana in addressing the country's development agenda in line with the African Development Bank I-5 priorities. The African Union Agenda 2063 and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Your presence at this launch is testament to its timeliness and relevance. Finally, to the partner here today, I encourage you to work hard for the success of implementation of this project. The bank believes in you. I wish you a successful launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Country Manager. Thank you. They will just be joined by the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Lariba Zuria Abudu. You're welcome, Minister. We still want to hear from the bank because they are the financiers of this project. They are the ones who are paying the bills and everything, so we still want to hear from them. And at this time, I want to call on the tax manager, or in this case, the tax managers. On tough, we love her, but she's tough, she's straightforward. I'm talking about Dr. Eko, Economics of African Development Bank, and the tax manager for this project.
Honorable Minister, good morning. Good morning, invited guests and everyone here. I stand on the existing protocol and welcome you especially to the launch of the post-COVID recovery project being funded by African Development Bank. This is an important project both for the bank and for Ghana. It is covering a multitude of institutions, and this is one of the projects we have done that have galvanized so many institutions and brought them into one. And it also covers a wide range of sectors. So we have heard from the country manager about the project. I want to give you in full details a little bit of what the project will be doing in the next 5 years. So the project is post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement project. And the total amount for the project is 28 million USD. And the duration for the project is for 5 years. This project was approved by the bank board of directors on the 29th of June 2023 and will be closing on the 31st of March 2028. What is the objective of this project? The objective is to contribute to Ghana's sustainable post-COVID-19 recovery through support for restoration of livelihoods, income and employment opportunities, as well as support for skills development in the health sector at higher education level, the TVET, and improve employability of youth and women. The specific objectives are two: to support the health-related skills development in higher education in University of Ghana, Legon, for the enhancement of Ghana's healthcare delivery system, which we know was seriously impacted by the COVID. It is also to promote technical and entrepreneurship skills for job creation among youth. We know that the impact also of COVID was on livelihoods, and so many people lost their means of income, especially the youth and women. So this project is targeted towards them through entrepreneurship skills to enhance their recovery and coming back, their business is coming back. What are the expected objectives and the expected outcome? One, it is increased highly skilled education, lecturers and researchers at the University of Ghana to contribute to increase human resource capacities in the health sector. Two, to increase micro, small and medium scale enterprise awareness on and access to existing credit facilities. We know that is very, very critical. We also want to increase the income and employment opportunities among youths and women and vulnerable people in the country, improve efficiency and timeliness in processing of small loans. We know that that's a critical challenge, not only in Ghana but many African countries. So this project will be able to increase the timeliness so you can get the loans on time, and then it will be managed more efficiently. The project components are three. The first component will deal with skills development in higher education for strengthening the health sector, and this requires the construction of 3 facilities for microbiology, microbiological research, technological research, nursing and midwifery research in the university. We will not only construct, we will also train. So there is a lot emphasis on training and also procurement of equipment. We will also conduct biomedical and biotechnical discovery research. We will strengthen the communication capacity of Ghana News Agency to be able to report correct information. We know there is a lot of misinformation there, so we are digitalizing their system and also making sure that the staff are properly trained to be able to render good reporting. And about 144 of their staff will benefit from the training under this component. Component 2 will be rebuilding youth and women's livelihood through entrepreneurship and employment creation. What we want to do by this project is to construct 4 technical skills development centers in already existing technical colleges. We will just beef it up, and we have chosen 3 regions in Ghana to do that. The Nosatre Bono, sorry if I do not call it Ashanti region at the Otakrom, Abativ the Eastern region and Nadom Upper region. So we'll be able to construct technical colleges there, beef up the technical colleges so that we can do on-the-spot training for the youths that will not take the normal length of time, so that we can give them adequate training and send them out with resources to be able to start on their own. And the provision of skills training for women, youth, and vulnerable groups on priority areas. So the areas of skills that we'll be focusing on is agro-industrial, construction-related skills that has to do with welding, tiling, POP, and stuff like that. Then we want to emphasize the tourism, the creative arts, the hospitality, the catering, and the ICT digital skills. So when they come out, they can stand on their own and they can set up their enterprises. We will also do provision of entrepreneurial skills among youth, women, and vulnerable groups. These centers will be properly equipped. And so we are digitalizing their system and also making sure that the staff are properly trained to be able to render good reporting. And about 144 of their staff will benefit from the training under this component. Component 2 will be rebuilding youth and women's livelihood through entrepreneurship and employment creation. What we want to do by this project is to construct 4 technical skills development centers in already existing technical colleges. We will just beef it up, and we have chosen 3 regions in Ghana to do that. The Nosatre, Bono, sorry if I do not call it wrong, Ashanti region at the Otakrom, Abativ, the Eastern region, and Nado Upper region. So we'll be able to construct technical colleges there, beef up the technical colleges so that we can do on-the-spot training for the youths that will not take the normal length of time, so that we can give them adequate training and send them out with resources to be able to start on their own. And the provision of skills training for women, youth, and vulnerable groups on priority areas. So the areas of skills that we'll be focusing on is agro-industrial, construction-related skills that has to do with welding, tiling, POP, and stuff like that. Then we want to emphasize the tourism, the creative arts, the hospitality, the catering, and the ICT digital skills. So when they come out, they can stand on their own and they can set up their enterprises. We will also do provision of entrepreneurial skills among youth, women, and vulnerable groups. These centers will be properly equipped. We will buy equipment, technical equipment for them to use. Above all, the project will establish a 4 million credit facility, USD, 4 million credit facility to support MSMEs of women and youth to recover from the impact of the COVID. To be able to do this efficiently, effectively, and timely, we will digitalize the Ghana Microfinance and Small Loan Center MASLOC loan management system to enhance efficiency and coverage. Finally, we also have the project management component. So this is an overview of the projects that is coming on board. And we know that with the level of people that are here, you will support us, that will have a timely delivery, that come 5 years down the line, we'll be counting the beneficiaries, the benefits, the economic recovery of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. This is not an overview. This is a detailed description of a project. I think we now understand what the project is all about. That's our tax manager. I didn't want to sign here because she's the one who gives no objection for everything. Very, very powerful woman. Let's give her another round of applause. Yeah. Now we want to recognize the Deputy Minister of Health, Honorable Mahama Asin Seni. Let's give him a round of applause. After such a detailed overview, I think we are tired and we need to relax a little bit. So we will call the Ghana Dance Ensemble to give us a musical interlude. You can show your appreciation by throwing some money. Thank you. You can give a round of applause. We are also joined by Mr. Kofi, who is the General Manager of the Ghana News Agency, one of our stakeholders. Also, round of applause for Professor Ofe of the Biotech Center and the immediate Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana. Just like the task manager said, this is a very innovative, a very interesting project that has to do with multiple stakeholders. So we need an agency that has a proven track record of managing this coordination. And there's no other agency that is thought of than the Social Investment Fund, because they have a track record of doing exactly that. So at this juncture, I'll call the bully and the hard-working Executive Director of the Social Investment Fund, Honorable Kofi Frimpong, to give us a few remarks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would want to stand on all existing protocols and welcome all of you to this very important event, i.e. the launching, official launch of the post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement project. The Social Investment Fund is a foremost a demand-driven, flexible organization designed to deliver targeted assistance to both urban and rural impoverished communities in Ghana in support of sustainable poverty resolution and reduction. It was established in 1998 through the concerted efforts of the AfDB, who incidentally are the sole financiers of this project that we are launching. The United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and the government of Ghana. As a pro-poor institution, our mandate is to contribute to sustainable poverty reduction in rural and urban communities in Ghana through 1, the provision of social and economic infrastructure. 2, provision of financial services to micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs. And 3, capacity building and institutional development. In support of this, the SIF has over the past 20 years worked to achieve the above objective through 5 poverty reduction projects, which includes the following. 1, the Ghana Poverty Reduction Project 1 and 2, GPRP 1 and 2, Urban Poverty Reduction Project, which was financed by the African Development Bank, the Heavily Indebted Poor Countries, HIPIC, and the Integrated Rural Development Project, RDP, phases 1 and 2. This project, now called the Post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Productivity Enhancement Project, the PSDPEP, is a successor project to UPRP, which successfully ended in 2012. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted many sectors of the Ghanaian economy, but its impact was felt on most of the health sector, where capacity to provide healthcare services were severely constrained by the pandemic. Furthermore, the pandemic disrupted livelihoods at the individual, household, and entrepreneur levels due to lockdowns, travel bans, and other restrictions that curtailed economic activity and business prospects. In June 2022, the government of Ghana signed a 5-year agreement with the African Development Bank to implement the post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement project. This project is being funded from a grant facility of 31.34 million, comprising 28.5 million from the African Development Bank and 2.84 million from Government of Ghana. The objective of the project is to contribute to Ghana's sustainable post-COVID-19 recovery in the health sector and support the restoration of livelihoods, income and employment opportunities, and private sector development with the specific objectives as the following. 1. To support health-related skills and development in higher education at the University of Ghana for the ultimate enhancement of Ghana's healthcare delivery system. And 2. Promote technical and entrepreneurship for job creation among youth and women. The project has 3 main components, as it has already been said by the previous readers. Component 1 will support the recovery of Ghana's healthcare system from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and enhance its resilience against future pandemics. The component will 1. See the construction of 3 health-related skills and research facilities for microbiological research and skills development and biotechnical research and skills development and nursing and midwifery research and skills development at the University of Ghana, Legon. The sustainable procurement of equipment and furniture for the 3 skills development and research facilities means that after putting up those structures, the bank or the project is going to ensure that the equipment and furniture that will be needed for their operations will be provided by the project. 3. The training of about 215 faculty and research staff of the 3 facilities through scholarships provided by the project to increase teaching staff to train additional healthcare personnel and high-end researchers, especially to the doctoral degree levels. 4. Ghana News Agency, by digitizing its systems, rehabilitation its buildings at the 5 stations, and training 114 staff in health and MSMEs communications. That we shall train some staff members of GNA to be able to report on the activities of the project and its achievement. Component 2, as already enunciated, will also support the rebuilding of livelihood and sources of income among youth and women for them to recover from the socio-economic shocks or impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on individuals, households, and enterprises, especially those operating MSMEs that were directly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. It will support also the construction of 4 technical skills development centers at 1 Nsuatre Technical School at Nsuatre in the Bono region, Hotel Chrome Technical Institute, Hotel Chrome in the Ashanti region, Abetifi Technical Institute at Abetifi in the Eastern region, and St. John's Vocational Technical School at Nadom in the Upper West region, and that will be under the SIF. The training centers will help the youth to acquire basic vocational and technical skills, thereby generating sustainable roles, so that they will get their jobs to do credit facility, a $4 million credit facility to support MSMEs of women and youth to recover from the COVID-19 impact. And this means that it is meant for only the MSMEs. The big industries are not involved. It's for the women and youth in the MSMEs. Now, the third one is the digitization of microfinance and small loans center, MASLO, so that they will help in the management of the system to enhance its efficiency and coverage and to create about 2,000 direct jobs or indirect jobs. Component 3 will provide technical and administrative support for the implementation of the project activities. The project will be implemented in 7 regions of Ghana, namely Greater Accra, Ashanti region, Eastern region, Bono region, Northern region, Western region, and the Upper Western region. Beneficiaries of the project are staff and clients of the project implementation institutions, youth, and women operating MSMEs, and in cooperation with the population of Ghana. The Ministry of Finance is the executing agency for the project, and the Social Investment Fund, of which I'm the Executive Director, is the implementing agency. There are other allied agencies involved in the implementation of the project, and these are the Ghana News Agency, Microfinance and Loans Center, MASLO, and the University of Ghana. We wish to express our profound gratitude to the African Development Bank for providing funding for this very important project. We know that in these challenging economic times, as global funding gets scarce and dwindling, it is very commendable that the bank has come to our aid at such a time. This is a very laudable effort, and like Oliver Twist, we ask for some. We also want to thank all our allied agencies and other stakeholders who have stood with us on this journey from today. From today, let us work together as we transition into implementing this project. Let us be of one mind, united in thought and purpose, your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Executive Director of the Social Investment Fund and the Project Coordinator of the Post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Productivity Enhancement Project. At this juncture, I want to reiterate that this facility is a grant. It's free money. So it's not going to add to our debt stock. We are not going to do any debt sustainability analysis on this one. It is not going to attract a domestic debt exchange program. There will be no haircuts or shortcuts or anything. So I would like to call on the representative of the Ministry of Finance, who is also the head of the African Development Desk of Finance, to give us a few remarks. Mr. Emmanuel Fodio. To assure the House that there will be no haircuts.
Thank you, Doug, for your huge sense of humor. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And I have the dual task of presenting my Chief Director's report or address and my own personal one. So, pardon me if I take extra 5 minutes because the Chief Director's report is about the 7-page.
COVID-19 recovery program infrastructure that builds on health-related skills in higher education, restores and promotes livelihood and entrepreneurship for creation of jobs among women and youth, and promotes effective public communication in health and SMEs. I want to commend the deliberate effort of the team who worked tirelessly to bring this project to this far. The journey admittedly began about 2 years ago when we started this project, and God being so kind, we are here this morning to officially celebrate our hard work. This project reflects on the view that the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted many sectors of the Ghanaian economy. This impact was significant and directly felt in the health and the SME subsectors greatly. In order to build resilience, the government of Ghana, together with the African Development Bank, worked tirelessly to craft this project. And the rationale behind this is to develop skills and capacities of actors to withstand future pandemics. In fact, restoring and strengthening resilience and human resource capacity for healthcare at higher education level is an urgent need. It's an urgent need since the pandemic can easily emerge and new pandemics are likely also to come. But the essence of this project is to forestall and build resilience so that in the event there's any pandemic, the resilience that has so been built will be able to withstand any additional shock, no matter the form or shape that it will take. Ladies and gentlemen, it is for this reason that the government has prioritized this project as part of the recovery effort for 2023 and beyond. In presenting the 2023 budget statement to Parliament, the Honorable Minister in paragraph 77, page 23, indicated, among other things, and I quote, to provide interest rate subsidies and direct financing, including supporting prioritized sectors in the rural economy through the AfDB Bank and its network of banks, as agreed under the AfDB supported post-COVID skills and productivity enhancement project. So when this budget was presented in November last year, we knew that this project was coming. And we knew what it's sought out to do. And it is gratifying to see the MD of the Apex Bank and his team highly represented at this launch. It is equally comforting to see Maslock, boss, and her two deputies in attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, this direct microscopic mention should leave no one in doubt about the prioritized project in the recovery effort of Ghana. The Ministry of Finance is confident that we have the right sense and blend of skills and competencies in this room to implement and complete this project and complete this strategic project by end March 2028, as has been announced by my dear sister, the tax manager. It is in the spirit of this that we, as the ministry, as an oversighting MDA, we are not going to countenance any request for extension. Right from the word go, we are going to keep the PRU, that is a Social Investment Fund, and the allied agencies on their toes to make sure that an extension is not an option in this project. In all our African Development Bank operations, about 19 of them, we have about 5 of our portfolios that are flagged red, meaning that they are not doing too well. And as a unit within the ministry, we are going to step up our monitoring and supervision mission. And we will do that religiously to make sure that this project doesn't deviate from its critical path. In conclusion, I would like to take this opportunity to express my personal appreciation to all our stakeholders who have collaborated with us and provided continuous support to ensure the rollout of this project. I wish us all a successful launch and smooth project implementation. God bless African Development Bank. God bless Ghana, and God bless this project. This is the Chief Director's speech. No, this is my personal. No, this is a one page, please. If you know this, as the head of the African Development Bank and the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the Ministry of Finance, I have the singular honor to present my personal address. So once again, I stand on all existing protocols. Most of the things that I intend saying have been said, but let me just say a few things about operational issues. Ghana's portfolio 4 years ago was described as one of the best in the whole of Africa, among the best 5. This was said by the president of the bank, President Adisena, when he paid the courtesy call on President Nana Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House in 2019. I was at that meeting. Solomon here present was equally at that meeting. And I'm saying this against the backdrop of the fact that, yes, our portfolios in Ghana, close to over $850 million are high-performing projects. I say this against the backdrop of the fact that this is a multifaceted project, one of its kind in the life of the African Development Bank. So, across the continent, all eyes will be on us. How we implement this project, other countries may come to study from us. I'm saying this again because if you look at our Eastern Corridor road project at Pokwase Interchange, there was a delegation last month from Rwanda that came to study the engineering design and see how that magnificent engineering feat can be replicated in Rwanda. So in the same way, when this project is executed in the letter and spirit that it has so been designed, it will work out well not only for Ghana, but for entire Africa. I therefore urge the project implementation unit, headed by my good friend, Honorable Kofi Frimpong, and his team, to work around the clock and make sure that they do what is expected of them. Because across the portfolio, what we have realized is that procurement activities constitute about 60% of all our portfolios. And when we sleep in the area of procurement, what it means is that disbursement will be low. The project, if you are not likely, will be flagged red. And when your project is flagged red, you are not only doing harm to you and your project. Indeed, you are doing a greater harm to the entire country, Ghana. Because the allocation of funds to countries, one of the determinants is project performance. So if you are not performing well, Ghana as a country suffers. I say this because under ADF 12, Ghana had a total allocation in the region of $440 million US dollars. By ADF 14, ADF 15, Ghana had less than $200 million. So in the aggregate, we've lost about $250 million through non-performance of our project by project team. What we have realized is that each year, the project implementation unit will come up with a work plan and a budget. When it is approved, they go to sleep. They go to sleep because they still take their fat salaries and what have you. I don't want to put this on a record, but the way my good friend is looking at me, across the portfolio, project directors are paying $5,000. If my 30 years experience at the Ministry of Finance, and if you look at today's exchange rate, I don't even take $1,000. So the point I'm emphasizing here now is the fact that we are going to step up our monitoring and supervision, so that if there are any early warning signals, we'll be able to pick them up and make sure that it is rectified. And on this note, I want to task the two committees, that is the technical committee and the steering committee. Admittedly, the technical committee, that is going to be the operation room of this project. They should work hard as a team and make sure that they are always building consensus. And then I want, before I end crave the indulgence of my dear sister Patience, who is a tax team leader, that requests are going to be coming to you effective today after the lunch. And we'll beg of you that in our portfolio, the turnaround time for no objection from the bank spans from 2 days to 3 months. In the case of the road sector and the agri sector, the turnaround time for us to get no objection is 2 days. In fact, even in the agri sector, we've gotten no objection in a day. But the same cannot be said in the water and sanitation sector and the energy sector. In the water and sanitation sector, the minimum turnaround time to get no objection is 3 months. Clearly, if you are implementing a project and you submit a request to the bank for no objection to move to the next stage, and it takes minimum 3 months. I mean, clearly you are departing from the critical path. And some of these aberrations, we are not going to countenance that. It is in this respect that I'm making a passionate appeal to my dear sister that this project is already late. This launching was scheduled to have taken place in November last year. And when it was postponed, some of us got some serious bashing from our political heads. But in his own time, he makes everything beautiful. Today is the day that the Lord has made. I think the MC quoted this scripture. And if you are very religious, like my minister, it is Psalm 118, verse 24. So, to conclude, I want to say that Honorable Kofi Frimpong and the PIU, delay is not an option. From today, let's hit the ground running. As I said, the project is already late. The tax manager will bear with me that the project is already late. And to the implementation agencies or the beneficiary agencies, from today, you can start driving your annual work plans. You can submit your request through SIF to anti-peace, and straight away she will start granting no objection for the objectives of the project to be accomplished. And when it is so accomplished, it will endure to the good people of Madagascar and beyond. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your audience.
Thank you very, very much. This is the first time in living history that one man gave two speeches. But we allow him to do that. Let us welcome the Honorable Deputy Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Honorable Martin Ejime Sakosa. And the rep from the Ministry of Education, the technical advisor from the Ministry of Education. Madam, you are all welcome. A wise man once said, if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. But if you want to walk far, then you walk together. I guess if we want to do both, we are greedy. So we have put together, we have partnered and put together a myriad of stakeholders who are going to help us on the journey. So at this stage, I'm going to call some stakeholders to give us some remarks as to their expectations of the project. Because of time constraints, I will give everybody 3 minutes. The first up will be the Deputy Minister for Local Government, Honorable Kosa.
Thank you very much, MC. And I promise that, unlike Mr. Fojo, I will not have my own version. I will stick to the minister's speaking notes. So thank you for the opportunity, and Country Director, African Development Bank, Ministers President, SIF Boss, Mr. Kofi Frimpong, representatives of ministries, departments and agencies, academia, friends of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be part of the national launch of the post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement project. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the African Development Bank for their continuous efforts and support towards the development of this country. I must quickly add that the African Development Bank is a long-standing bilateral partner of the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, providing support in the areas of skills development, small loans for businesses, and delivery of community infrastructure. This partnership manifested in the joint development and implementation of projects and programs such as the rollout of several infrastructural and skills development activities through the Social Investment Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, since the establishment of the Social Investment Fund, it has contributed immensely to the rapid reliable and flexible mechanism for channeling resources for delivering targeted assistance to both urban and impoverished communities. Indeed, the tenets on which the Social Investment Fund was established ties in with the mandate and vision of the ministry, thus to bring governance and development to the doorstep of the ordinary Ghanaian. The ministry mandated to formulate policies, develop the National Urban Policy 2012, which is currently under review, the National Rural Development Policy 2019, and the Local Economic Policy of 2020, which considers the economic growth and inclusive development. These policies set a framework for the development and implementation of initiatives, programs, and projects such as the post-COVID-19 skills and productivity enhancement project, which aims at providing critical rural and urban infrastructure in the MMDAs and building capacities of relevant MDAs to deliver services, bringing development and reducing poverty in Ghana. It is my hope that the delivery would culminate in increasing the productivity, skills development, livelihood empowerment, and increased economic opportunities, especially for the youth and women whose livelihood have been negatively affected by COVID-19, as we build the capacities of youth in higher learning and to have additional skills training to build their own businesses after school. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed this project has come at an opportune time in rebuilding livelihoods and sources of income among the youth and women for them to recover from the socio-economic shocks of the impacts of COVID-19 on individuals, households, enterprises, especially those operating MSMEs who were directly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. I wish at this juncture to seize the opportunity to pledge my unflinching support for the successful implementation of the post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement projects. Country Director, African Development Bank, as this project will be implemented within the jurisdiction of the metropolitan and municipal assemblies, I kindly request that the district assemblies are involved in the project implementation to ensure sustainability. Indeed, the Local Governance Act 2016 Act 936 mandates the district assemblies in clause 12(3) to be responsible for the overall development of the district. This said, I wish to emphasize that the district assemblies will remain committed to the processes towards the delivery of this project. I am particularly happy about the health center related skills training for youth in higher education. This is an innovation and needs to be commended. It is time we train the youth to diversify their income sources to better their lives. It is said that you cannot continue doing the same thing repeatedly and expect different results. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my ardent hope that this $31.34 million Government of Ghana and ADB will contribute to Ghana's sustainable post-COVID-19 recovery in the area of health and support the restoration of livelihoods, income and employment opportunities, and the private sector development. I entreat all to be part of the project delivery processes and ensure that the project realizes its objective. On this note, I wish you all a fruitful celebration. Thank you.
Local government, rural development, that's our supervising ministry. I now call on a representative from the University of Ghana, representing the health cluster.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stand on the existing protocols established. Similar to the Deputy Minister, I don't have my own speech, so I also have just a single speech. I'll try and do it within the 30 minutes allocated by RMC. I bring you warm greetings from the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Amfo, and the entire University of Ghana. My Vice Chancellor would have loved to be here this morning. Unfortunately, cannot be here due to an equally important assignment just to attend this morning. Hence, a request for me to represent today's national launch of the post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement project. It is a widely shared view that COVID-19 is not only a health crisis, but also a pandemic, which has generated a huge socio-economic crisis of global proportion. This is because the pandemic affected all countries and territories, disrupting global supply chains and societies. The University of Ghana is pleased to be part of this project as it fits well with our vision to be a research-intensive university and to contribute meaningfully to national and global development needs. The crisis resulting from COVID-19 has already attracted attention of many researchers and scholars at the University of Ghana. From the health, social, and economic dimensions of COVID-19, various studies have been done and continue to be conducted to assess the impact of the pandemic and to reposition society in the post-COVID era. So I would say that this project is therefore timely in that respect. In particular, the two main components of the project, mainly the skills development in higher education for strengthening the health sector and rebuilding youth and women's livelihood through entrepreneurship and employment of particular interest. This is because these components can leverage on the existing studies which have already been done or are ongoing at the University of Ghana. For example, the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISA, which is my parent unit, recently published an edited volume titled The Socio-Economic Impact of the COVID-19 Pandemic on Ghana. And in this volume, special attention was paid to a number of issues including youth employment, women's well-being. This study and many others which have been done by hard-working researchers in the various units in the medical and health sphere are available for reference. On this brief note, I would like to thank the government of Ghana and African Development Bank for making the University of Ghana part of this project. In particular, the 3 units under the project that the Department of Microbiology, School of Nursing and Midwifery, and the Biotech Center. Beyond the livelihoods improvement and job creation, capacity building, and skill development of our faculty and others within the health sector, as well as the infrastructure development and digitization, including the construction of the health centers, which we've been told. I believe strongly that this project provides a very good opportunity for cross-fertilization of ideas among academics, practitioners, and policymakers. I've realized anytime I work with practitioners and as academic, when I work with practitioners and policymakers, you get a very successful output or something that one comes to appreciate. So the University of Ghana will collaborate with all partners and stakeholders to make sure that this project is a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Prof just talked about issues on the health sector. Another major pillar of this project is the SME sector, and which better agency to talk about than Maslow. So at this time, I'll call on the CEO of Maslow, Hajia Bipatashani Muhammad Zakaria.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister for Employment, staff of AfDB, Minister of Finance, and everybody gathered here. A lot has been said on this project, so I am not coming to talk about any of the components. But what I know is that Maslow is a beneficiary, and what Maslow simply does is Maslow is the poverty reduction agency, and then we reduce poverty through job creation and wealth creation. particularly with particular emphasis on women empowerment and youth development. So this project couldn't have been any better. So at this point, what I want to say is that I want to thank the Ministry of Finance and the Africa Development Bank for the opportunity. This is the first time we are benefiting from African Development Bank, and I can assure you that we are going to execute our part of the deal very well, and then in anticipation of bigger projects to come. Amen. So at this juncture, we will only express our profound gratitude and hoping to get more to execute, because our demand is so high that we cannot even meet it. Talking about women and youth development, we have so many requests across the country, we can't even meet that. Having assumed office as CEO, there are a lot of things that I have done at Maslow, and because of that, I am very confident that we are going to have a different Maslow with a different branding, with a positive image. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Maslow CEO. You agree with me, one of the hardest hit segments of our society as a result of COVID pandemic was the women. I understand they form about 51% of our population, and they are the ones who are dominant in the SME sector. So at this juncture, I'll call the Honorable Deputy Minister for Gender, Children,
Full minister. She's the full minister.
She's the substantive minister for the ministry.
Thank you.
Hajia Ariba Zoria Abuja. Thank you.
No, it's part of the MC. When you are hard hit, then like COVID-19, yes, someone did. Yeah. Honorable Minister, permit me to stand on existing protocols because time is fast spent. I am very happy to be part of today's lunch.
We are always in trouble, especially when you are supposed to read your boss's speech. You don't go start summarizing or making things short. You don't know who's watching. So I also stand on the existing protocols and present what my boss said I should come and present. So, well, he's the one who, but I would say I'm delighted to be part of this groundbreaking event to learn the post-COVID-19 skills development and productivity enhancement projects. Mr. Chairman, we are all aware of the negative impact of COVID-19 on the quality of life and productivity of our people. COVID-19 affected all facets of life and threatened our very existence as people. It is therefore sufficient to say that this event could not have come at a better time. It is refreshing to know that government with the support of our development partners are doing everything possible to lead in the recovery of Ghana's healthcare system from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Whilst everybody was hiding, we were in the forefront fighting, not allowing it to come. So if today we are talking about support, you should come to the ministry. I know you all die. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's COVID-19 national strategy action centered on three main thematic areas, namely interventions for the health system, economic interventions, and social interventions. Health systems. In the area of health, the government's policy responses came in different forms. We ensured that the health sector and the health workers were in a position to manage the COVID-19 situation. Government expanded all our structures infrastructure by establishing COVID-19 isolation and treatment centers, enhance our testing capacity by upgrading our public health centers, laboratories, and ensuring that COVID-19 testing was accessible across the country. In addition, steps were initiated to establish the Ghana CDC, which will lead in the research of public health interventions. I am aware that Ghana CDC bill is currently being prepared. Health workers were adequately trained on treatment protocols as stipulated by the World Health Organization. Other interventions have included insurance packages and tax relief for frontline health workers. On the economy, aside from causing severe human suffering and losses of life, COVID-19 has also led to a major economic burden, including lumbering individuals, businesses, as well as governments. I am sure the policy proposed by the government of Ghana to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the economy are well known to all of us. I will therefore not waste time to elaborate on it, because as the gender woman is saying, women were abused, some lost their businesses, and that's why this particular program is very important, because poverty alleviations are all emerged from this. As for the health, we are ready and well prepared to be at the borders, to be at the airport, to make sure that COVID-19 will not invade us. And so, try to defend this. Anytime they are saying, oh, money is this, money is that, no. We are accounting properly for COVID-19 monies. And for the vaccines, they are there, and we should get people to go for them. We still have more in our cold stocks. Socially, as the impact of COVID-19 on health systems and the economy, there were grave impacts that affected the way of life of Ghanaian people. Our social intervention centers on social distancing, avoiding overcrowding, wearing of masks and hand hygiene. Schools and colleges were supplied with PPEs and hand sanitizers. Other social interventions including packages for the vulnerable in our society, such as food or our headquarters, and free water for all Ghanaians, electricity for lifeline users with 50% subsidy for all customers. I want to implore all of us, here especially the youth, to be conscious of our sanitation protocols and continue to adhere to them, such that we have seen a general decline in the number of COVID-19 cases. We continue to see sporadic incidents and COVID-19 cases in some regions of the world, coupled with occurrences of mutal strains. We must therefore not let our guards down. China is just by the corner, and a lot of people are dying out of the new strains. I must applaud the Ministry of Finance and the African Development Bank for putting together this 5-year plan to implement post-COVID-19 skill development and productivity enhancement project. I hope the Ministry of Health will not be left out. As I keep on saying, the most important ministry in this country is Ministry of Health. Because if I'm not well, you can eat. And I've always been saying it. I've never seen a dead person spending money. Know that, have I heard that when the Minister of Finance is sick, he goes to die in the back of Ghana food. So, take care of the health markets so that we protect you and make sure you have life to spend. All this time you are bringing, if you are not healthy, you cannot access them. As a ministry, we are hopeful that healthcare workers will receive training in some critical areas such as emergency preparedness, infection prevention and control, vaccination, and the application of smart technologies in patients' care. The continuous empowerment of our health professionals will enable them play a more direct role in healthcare interventions right from the individual and community levels. This, we believe, will enhance our resilience to future pandemics. We are also hopeful that the youth will be positioned to understand to implement these protocols. We also envision that the youth and women will benefit from this training, which will be given training in basic life support skills to complement the work of health workers. Mr. Chairman, one positive outcome of COVID-19 has been the use of online platforms for both government and private businesses. The youth are encouraged to equip themselves in ICT to be able to use this online platform for their businesses. I envision that by the end of this project, we will have individuals who are innovative and equipped with the skills to create and sustain their businesses. The stipulated objectives of the project implementation in Ghana seeks to address some of this, and the Ministry of Health is ready to render its full support towards its successful execution. I am grateful to all the implementing agencies for their ongoing technical support. The government is also grateful to the African Global Bank for their generous funding. We wish you a successful implementation. Thank you for your attention. And I'll thank you by saying the memory of this dead is warning to the living. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. At least for those of you who are still wide awake, you will have realized by now that this project has three clusters. You have the health cluster, which was adequately addressed by Consulency and the University of Ghana. We try to rebuild the resilience in the health sector. And then we have the SME sector, because people lost their livelihoods. That was also addressed by Hajia Arubatu from Moscow. Sometimes when you do all these things and you don't publicize it, nobody even knows about it. So that's why we got in the GNA to publicize and amplify our achievements, so that people will know what this important project is all about. So at this stage, I'll call on Mr. Kofi Ogusu, who is the General Manager of the Ghana News Agency. To kind of give a short remark. And I think they will stick to the 3 minutes. But we are getting tired. We need some songs and dance from the Ghana Dance Ensemble.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC, and thanks, Mr. Chairman. I will also stand on the existing protocols and say a very good morning to you, the distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am here on behalf of the board, management, and staff of the Ghana News Agency, as well as the Ministry of Information, to express our deepest appreciation for this great support from the African Development Bank.
came as a general manager, and I hope the GNA will achieve its mandate of publicizing and amplifying the achievements under this project. At this time, I think we are tired, and we want to get some sounds, music from the Ghana dance ensemble.
Another year that pona, I couldn't know anything. Another year that Cassio. I'm famous and many. Can it ya? Yalia called your will. Yalia Quancro. That's a sound, man. That is a Yassina. I tough one, and I had a sample. Any baby, I'm not going to young born. When it was that, it's empty, yeah. In your just one. Don't say, I don't want you. And so. I had a nipper. Nipper, baby. You're burning for kids up, sir. The bench, pa, a babua, a money by a woman, and some I have been the apple. I'm only the answer when you be. I'm so way I don't mind. This is the second one. The traditional instrument of the account people of Ghana. The soul of Ghanaian highlighted. September is made up of 3 account words. Set literally means speak. Touch. What? Something small. So small touch.
country manager, because they are non-Ghanaians. But all that he says that this, well, shall pass. That's all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In short form, this one too shall pass. Now we've come to the crown jewel of this event. The reason why we are here. You receive remarks from the guest of honor and the official lunch. On the lighter side, let me give you a joke. A guy walks into a bookstore. He wants to buy a book, and then he sees a book with a title, How to Solve 50% of your problem. He's a smart guy. He wants to solve all 100% of his problems, so he buys 2 books. A smart guy. But he had another alternative. There was another. He could have bought 1 book and read it twice. It's the same thing. In Ghanaian parlance, we say there are different ways of killing a cat. So at this juncture, I would like to call on the special guest of honor who is going to do the official launch of the project, Honorable Ignatius Bafowia. He's the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations. With a round of applause, let's welcome the Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, MC. I hope I'm not time-bound. Because I knew I would take a little bit of your time, I came early. When you said I should be here at 9 I was here. But I was enjoying the debate, let me call it debate, of who is more important so far as our ministries are concerned. When the Honorable Deputy Minister for Health indicated that, yes, if we die, there will be no need for a recovery. When he was saying that, I was laughing. Then I said to myself, the next time nurses and doctors are on strike, I will sit down quietly and look at what happens. And then my sister, the gender minister, indicated that during the pandemic era, so many things happen, including bedroom abuses. Then I also asked myself, why the bedroom abuse? Because it happened, according to her, 24/7. It meant those people could not access their work. If they were working, certainly they wouldn't be in the bedroom for 24/7. So then that also places the importance of employment in the whole equation. Why will you give a loan to somebody? I don't want to believe the idea of giving a loan to anybody is to go and chop. It is to go and use it to work. So that places the central role of Ministry of Employment in the whole equation. Colleague, honorable ministers, rep, country rep of AfDB, team members of AfDB from AfDB head office, my sister, who has still not landed and is not aware she's in Ghana. I think the original destination of the flight is Nigeria. Yesterday I read that there are some strikes at the airport, so many planes could not land. Perhaps that's why she landed here. Reps of implementing agencies, including my revered people from the universities, I hardly meet them. It's only during tax strikes that I meet them. Kofi, my brother, who has a big task of managing this project, and then my able man from finance, who made history by reading 2 speeches at a go. Heads of institutions, directors, ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to read anybody's speech. It's my own, but to confirm first. It was drafted by somebody. So as I speak, where there are needs for me to lay more emphasis on some points, I will drift off and do that and come back. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of us and warm welcome to the launch of the post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Productivity Enhancement Project. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of us for taking time of our busy schedules to grace this very important occasion. I also want to extend my gratitude to the management and staff of the African Development Bank for their immense support to this project in this crucial time of our global economic crisis. So, AfDB, thank you for making this fund available to them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government since 2001 has embarked on an agenda that is intended to give Ghanaians a renewed confidence in the governance of our nation and a new sense of hope in our common future. As we all know, in early 2020, the world was hit by a global pandemic known as COVID-19, and Ghana, like other countries, was affected. The pandemic was a daunting challenge for governors, and they had to struggle to contain the health crisis, whilst at the same time keeping their economies afloat. Ghana was no exception. COVID-19 disrupted the provision of essential health services in Ghana by straining the existing health infrastructure. It also destroyed the livelihood of many Ghanaians who derived their means of living in the informal sector, a sector dominated by women and the youth. Madam, so you are hearing. These groups dominate the micro, small and medium scale enterprises and contribute to over 70% of the Ghanaian GDP. My office, the Ministry of Employment and Labour Department, together with the Economics Department of University of Ghana, conducted a survey on the effect of COVID-19 on employment just after the pandemic. And it came to light that in some areas, jobs to the tune of about 70% of establishments within the informal sector were affected. 3 months after that survey, another survey was conducted, and then we saw some small restoration of some of these jobs, but at a slower pace. And even that, some could not even come up again at all. So indeed, when we are talking about the effect of COVID-19 on jobs, it is something which is very rare, and it's something that we should not also joke with. The post-COVID-19 Skills Development and Enhancement Project is designed to support Ghana's post-COVID-19 recovery that seeks to address the challenges of a strained healthcare delivery system and restore the livelihoods of many Ghanaians adversely affected by the pandemic. This project is funded by the African Development Fund grant of, as we have already heard, 28.5 million over a period of 5 years. The Ministry of Finance will be its executing agency, and the Social Investment Fund will be coordinating with relevant institutions for the implementation of the project. The objective of this project is to contribute to Ghana's sustainable post-COVID-19 recovery in the health sector, support the restoration of livelihoods, income, employment opportunities, and private sector development. Its specific objectives are: 1. To support health-related skills development in higher education at the University of Ghana support and entrepreneurship for job creation among youth and women. Interestingly, this project is relevant to Ghana's development priorities as it is aligned with critical government development policy framework as embodied in the Ghana Shared Growth and Development 2014-2017 program, Government Coordinated Program of Economic and Social Development Policies 2017-2024, and Country Strategy Paper 2019-2023, published by the African Development Bank. These documents reflect the development aspirations of the government of Ghana as required by the 1992 Constitution and many other engagements that the country has signed. Personally, I am delighted that every loan agreement under this program and contract we sign will translate into more jobs, more healthcare, more health-related education, and also training for our people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I can say without doubt that the requisite institutional and implementation arrangements for coordinating, overseeing, and managing this project have been put in place by the inauguration of the two very important committees, i.e. the Project Steering Committee and the Project Technical Committee. This was done on the 20th of September 2022 in the conference room of the Social Investment Fund. The main function of the Project Steering Committee is to ensure that project objectives, outcomes, and outputs are achieved in timely manner with high consideration for cost efficiency and cost effectiveness. The committee will further ensure that there is effective interministerial and interagency cooperation that will help in resolving any project challenges. I'm happy one of the objectives of the Project Steering Committee is to make sure of a timely delivery of projects. A point was made earlier about going for no objection, and then for some projects it will have to take more than 3 months before such no objections are gotten. I'm also told that in the agricultural sector, sometimes you can get it even in a day. Madam, a special appeal to you. This time, treat it just like the agricultural one and make sure that no objections are done in less than a week. But that will also mean that before we go there, we make sure that the proper work is also done, so that it will not warrant questions and answers and anything which will also require delays. So for the implementing agencies, I just want to plead with us. Let us make sure that diligent works are done before even we go into the fund. One of the challenges we do get when it comes to implementation of donor-funded projects is that sometimes, because it's not part of our main programs we do at our ministries, you see our officers seeing it as a secondary level work assignment that they have to do. So they don't give priority to it. And that perhaps is the main reason why sometimes we do get delays in implementation of such programs. I want to entreat each and every person that has signed on this project to make sure that they mainstream the project in their main program, so that even after the implementation, there will be real ownership of the project. Otherwise, after 5 years, we'll go and come and there will be no achievement. Yes, the project is over, to come back to square one. So for those agencies that will be implementing the project, my main appeal is that let's mainstream it. Let's make sure that we own the project. At the end of the 5-year period, we get to know that yes, this is indeed our own project. This is the benefit we can point to. Let me also appeal to the project management unit
Right Honorable Minister, going forward, the project has been duly launched, and all that is left is for implementation. This out of business, I want to acknowledge the presence of our regulators from SIGA, the State Interest and Governance Authority. They are the regulators of this SOE space, in the person of Mr. Joseph Sapon, who is the manager of regulatory sector, representing the Director General of SIGA. Welcome. Now, I think this is where we bring the curtain down on this launch, and I wish to thank all of you for finding time to be with us to launch this program. A few announcements. We are going to take group photographs outside at the entrance. So as we exit, we all mass up there and take group photographs. Then we're also going to take a coffee break between 10:40 and 11 a.m. for just 20 minutes. Lunch will be served. Yeah, you just have to do your math. I don't. I'm reading from a script. I don't know the time.